Welcome. Salon Business Coaching presents 6 ways to increase your revenue. First of all, appreciation and thanks to Christy for this opportunity and to all of you for giving up your time to watch this presentation. If you stay to the end, you'll have the opportunity to grab a special gift from me. So what can you expect to learn here today? We're going to look at how to read and interpret your salon numbers, how to recognize areas needing improvement, how to increase your turnover quickly, how to track and measure key KPIs, how to stop being afraid of your numbers, and how to grab a copy of my tracking charts. Hello, I'm Bambi Coker. I'm an entrepreneur with a legal background, a property investor, an online marketer, an administration wizard, a systems creator, a former beauty salon owner, and now a salon business coach. We're going to start off by looking at numbers because numbers are the lifeblood of your business. The first key number is the break even. Everything in your business revolves around knowing this key number. Without it, you are just a ship without a rudder, an Uber without a GPS. You are lost. So how to calculate your break-even number? To calculate this, you need to know your rent, including any rates, wages and superannuation, including your own wage, insurance, power, phone and internet, laundry expenses, consumables, a marketing budget, retail products, professional products, taxation, your point of sale system, your bank charges, any incidentals. You need all of those to calculate your break even, which should look something like this. Down the left-hand side, we have all of the expenses for running this particular business. And over on the far right, we have the cost per month of each of those expenses. Then we've broken that down to the cost per week, simply dividing that number by 4. And then the weekly expense is broken down to a daily expense by dividing it by 6, assuming that this particular business in the example is open for 6 days. If you're open for 7 days, divide that cost by 7. If you're open only 4 or 5 days, divide the weekly cost by the amount of days that you are open. So this will then give you your cost per day break-even point, your cost per week break-even, and your cost per month. Now, how do we make this our very first KPI, our business KPI? I always suggest that the monthly break-even number, you add on another 20%, and that then becomes your first business KPI. So congratulations, now you have your business KPI, you can begin. So identifying areas that we need to improve. First of all, we need to look at the rebooking percentages for the business overall and also for the individual team members. Then we need to work out our retailing percentages, again for the whole salon and for individual team members. Look at how many new clients have booked in, how many new clients have rebooked, the wages to turnover percentage, which gives us our productivity, and the client retention and the average client spend. So the first key that we're going to look at is rebooking. Rebooking percentages hold a story. So let's assume a salon with 4 employees has a salon average rebooking rate of 30%. Is that good? Honestly, it's not great. I would be seriously looking at your client journey. That would be the key to improving your client rebooking percentage. If your rebooking percentage was 60% and over, that would be a great indicator that clients are enjoying their journey through your salon and why they're happy to rebook. When you start looking at individual rebooking numbers, it can also be a red flag if you notice that someone has very low rebooking numbers, or if you have an amazing team member and all of a sudden their amazing rebooking numbers start to dramatically fall away. That is another red flag you need to investigate. So you need to track and measure these numbers on a regular basis, and they should also form a part of your weekly staff meetings, consistently striving to improve them. Even by 5% could mean extra revenue to the business of more than 20%. The client journey is a major key to success. From meeting and greeting your clients, and that could mean using their name a minimum of 3 times, maintaining eye contact and nodding that you're listening. This all creates great client rapport. Impeccable listening skills, attention to the smallest of details, offering refreshments and new client tours, and most importantly, following up with new clients and continued touch points after their visit. Little details could be as simple as, while a client has a mask on their hair at the base, and pop a little bit of a towel folded over at the base of their neck so that they don't have the hardness of the bowl pressing into the back of their neck. It's little tiny details like that that can make such a difference to the client journey. So if we look at the rebooking, the problem could be a low rebooking percentage. The solution is review the client journey in detail, survey existing clients, improve the client journey to improve the percentage, and train staff. Review your policies and procedures and make sure that they are being followed. Track and measure and monitor and review. The second key we will look at is retailing. Retailing percentages, similar to rebooking percentages, in that you should always work out the salon percentage and individual percentages. So what's a good retailing percentage to aim for? Well, that actually depends on what sort of salon you are. If you are a high-end skin clinic, around 40 to 50% retail. If you are a hair salon, around 20 to 30%, and a small salon focused on 1 or 2 services like waxing or lashes, around 10 to 15%. But the higher the percentage, the better. Let's face it, it's extra income. So how can you improve the retailing percentages? Ensure that your retail is well merchandised and presented. Never ever sell to your clients. Always be solving their problem with your solution. Your solution is your products. Know your client's personality and buying criteria. This is something that I go into in great depth in my online solutions membership. Offering an incentive. Buy 3 products, receive 10% off. Know your products. Know the ingredients, the key benefits, and the results that they are going to deliver. Use the products yourself. Speak from experience, or use other people's stories. Stories sell products. So retailing. Offer products that are relevant to your clients. Speak in pictures. Talk about the feeling your clients will get when they use the products. Clients buy on emotion and results, not dollars. Avoid this retailing trap, assuming what your client can and cannot afford to purchase. Let's look at this chap. What if this guy wanders in for a haircut? And let's face it, he could do with one. And you're thinking to yourself, he looks pretty scruffy. I'm not going to bother offering him any hair care products. Well, guess what? I'd like you to meet Sergey Brin. Net worth $47.5 billion. He is the co-founder of Google. What about this lady? She wanders in and she's wanting a facial, and you're thinking, I know she'd get fantastic results with LED, but I don't want to offer her that. It's so expensive. She probably can't afford it anyway. Meet Suzanne Clatton. Net worth $25 billion. She owns 19% of BMW and inherited a 50% stake in a huge pharmaceutical company. Well, how about this lady who just wanders in? Well, meet Priscilla Chan. She's married to Mark Zuckerberg, and their net worth is over $74 billion. And of course, we all know this story of Pretty Women. We've seen the movie, the sales ladies that prejudged and missed out on such an opportunity. And imagine if this was happening in today's era of social media. Wow. Big mistake, big mistake. So never ever judge a book by its cover. You just don't know their real story. And you could be missing out on the best client who will refer their friends, who are also all well off and willing to spend their money in your salon. So if you have a retailing problem, the solution, well, you're obviously not selling enough retail. So drop any self-talk and prejudgment you might have about any of your clients. Treat every single client the same and offer home care products that are relevant. Speak with absolute confidence and know your products. Track and measure your retail growth. And practice, practice, and practice again, because practice makes perfect. The third key we're going to look at is new clients. If I had $1 for every time someone has said, how can we get more new clients? I would be a very rich woman. You want to be looking at marketing. You want to look at loyalty programs, create raving fans, and you must have an exceptional client journey, and you need to track and measure everything. You can use social media for marketing, but the key important thing to do is establish your USP, your unique selling proposition, and you have to talk to that market. Decide who is your ideal client and then speak to them. You've got to stop trying to talk to everybody because you end up reaching nobody. Facebook marketing offers you demographics so that you can target your ideal age, the interest that your client has, and also the exact area radius relevant to where your salon, clinic, or spa is located. So when you have that new client, where are they coming from? You need to track and measure and then adjust your marketing tactics. I had a client once who was saying, I need more new clients. I need more. And I said, well, how many are you getting on average a month? So we pulled up a report. The previous month, they had 40 new clients. completely oblivious to it because they were not tracking and measuring. And so then I asked the question, where have they come from? Shrug of the shoulders. No idea. They didn't even know where those clients were coming from. You need to track and measure everything. If a new client is coming to your business and they have found you on Google and they're going to your website, that tells you that you need to keep your website crisp, fresh, up to date, blogging every day. That's where you need to spend your money. If they're coming to you via Instagram, that's where you need to be focusing your marketing. So you must track and measure, where are those new clients coming from. Conduct a tour of your salon. Now, this gives you a double-edged sword because as you're giving the client a tour of your salon, clinic, or spa, this is an exceptional way in a beauty salon or a spa to be able to surreptitiously market the different services that you offer. Oh, through here, Sandra, this is where we do all our spray tans. In this room, we use this for our IPL permanent hair removal. In this treatment room, we offer our skin needling and high-end facials. Do you see how simple it is to be saying what services you offer? So offer a tour of the salon. Introduce the new clients to other team members. If there is another team member near you, introduce them. Make that new client feel like they're part of a team. They're not just an individual seeing another individual in there. This is a trap that a lot of salon owners fall into, is that especially in hairdressing salons, you could have a team of 12 different stylists. A client comes in, they're dealing with one stylist. Everybody else has the opportunity to look at that new client, but they're focusing on their own client and nothing else. But it wouldn't hurt to just give a nod, a wink, a smile to other clients that are in the salon. Because when that client, they might go to make an appointment and their particular stylist has left. They might have just gone to have a baby. There might be nothing more than that. And they're offered another stylist. They would feel completely out on a limb because they don't have a rapport or any knowledge or interaction with any of the other stylists in that business. So they're probably going to feel awkward, and that is when clients leave and think, well, I'll just go and try another salon. Always give a thorough consultation. Educate the client on all the services that you offer. Give them a welcome pack and follow up. After that initial first visit with your salon, clinic, or spa, give them a call, send them a message. Make sure that they enjoyed their first experience with your business. Also, you can invite them to join a VIP private group for your business. That makes the client feel like they've just become a part of something. So adjust your focus. Work more diligently and closely with clients that you do have. Existing clients who are happy and receiving exceptional service, they will tell their friends. That creates raving fans, and raving fans are so much cheaper than advertising online. And surprise and delight your clients. Treat new and existing clients the same every single visit. New client rebookings. You must track and measure the number of new clients that are rebooking with you. If your rebooking rate is low, you've got a problem somewhere. So you need to refer to the rebooking strategies that we discussed already, and that way you can improve the rebooking with your new clients. and you might need to adjust your marketing strategies. Key 4, productivity. Productivity is the wages percentage to the total revenue. You want to be looking at an average of around 30%. Now, if you've got a huge team, you might be a hair salon and you've got a massive team, then this percentage may be higher. This is the benchmark pretty much in the beauty industry. So the productivity percentage will indicate things to you. Are you understaffed? Are you overstaffed? And do you have staff being unproductive? There is nothing worse than paying 4 salaries when you really only need to be paying 3. So let's recap so far. We've looked at increasing the rebookings, increasing the retailing, increasing new clients, and maintaining a 30% productivity rate. All of these above points will bring you an increase in revenue. If you just focus on improving one area at a time, you will see improvement in your revenue. Key 5, client retention. You need to track and measure. If you don't know your client retention numbers, then you don't know whether you're retaining your clients. You must have in place a follow-up sequence with all of your clients. You need to diarise often to touch base with clients. You need excellent notes on your clients. For instance, Sandra might ring up 3 days before her appointment and says she's come down with the flu and she's not sure when she'll be well enough again, so she puts off rebooking. You need to diarise that. Whether you have a physical book or you've got an online calendar you refer to, you need to pop in 5 days' time, call Sandra back, ask how she's doing now, whether she's got over the flu, and then offer to reschedule her last appointment. If you don't touch base again with that client, they could just fall away. The client needs to feel that they are valued by you, so you need to follow up. Excellent file notes on your client gives you the opportunity, when you're calling Sandra back, you have a point of reference. How are you now since you've had the flu? Are you over it? I hope you're feeling better. And you must be consistent. Consistency is the key to success. And review and improve and evolve your systems, because new technology is coming up all the time. So you need to look at that technology, see if there's a way that you can use that to reach your client base and have those touch points all the time. So client retention, clients don't come back for a number of reasons, but here are some top reasons. Being taken for granted. Never ever assume that you know what your client wants at every appointment. You need to consult with them every time. Clients don't like feeling that they're not being listened to, or they're being talked over, or they're left in a room during a facial whilst a therapist takes a call, or worse still, that they're outside a treatment room and they're speaking to other therapists about other clients. Or one of the worst is in a hair salon and one stylist is yelling from one side of the room to the other, having a conversation with somebody else. That shows a lack of focus with the client that you are working with at that time. It can also be a case of too much talking or not enough talking. You need to know your client. You can have this question on a consultation form, asking the client how much conversation would they like during their time with their therapist or stylist. Personally, I don't like a lot of talking when I go and have my hair done. This is my think time. It's when I go inside my head and I look at all my little to-do lists and I move things around and I start planning and actioning things that I want to do. And when I'm at the basin and I'm having that beautiful head massage and I'm sitting there with the mask on, I just want to close my eyes and just relax. I don't want the stylist speaking and telling me about what their holiday plans are, or feeling that I have to be forced to continue a conversation. So you need to know your client. Yes, there are clients out there who will talk the leg off a chair, and that's great, but you need to know which client is which. And another thing that turns clients off is unorganization. There's nothing worse than you're in there, you're doing a facial with a client, and all of a sudden you realize, oh, I don't have enough of a certain product to do this facial. Oh, excuse me, I'm just going to run out and get it. That is not an amazing client journey. The other thing is uncleanliness. If there's no ambience and there's just a lack of consistency, that one visit to the next is always different, or always a different therapist, or always being put in a different position for a waxing. So consistency is key. Try and make sure that there's as little noise as possible for your clients during a facial or a massage. Just look for all of those little touch points and how you can improve them. It costs more to obtain a new client than to retain existing clients. So make client retention a priority in your salon. It will make you more money. 80% of your income comes from 20% of your clients. So if you increase your client base, you increase your income. Key 6, average client spend. It's important to measure and build this number. Focusing on this number can increase your total revenue by as much as 30% in just 1 month. And I've had lots of clients do this. If you were to never gain another new client and never lose an existing client and just increase this area of your business, let's look at the results. If you had a database of 200 active clients and your average client spend was $80 and you see on average 60 clients a month, well, 60 multiplied by 80 equals $4,800. Now, if you were to increase your average client spend to just $90, 60 multiplied by $90 equals $5,400. That's an extra $600 per month, or an extra $7,200 a year. So let's increase it to an average client spend of $100. 60 multiplied by 100 equals 6,000. That's now an extra $1,200 per month, or $14,400 a year. Now let's get crazy and imagine that not only can you increase your average client spend by $20 per client, but you also increase your active client database from 60 clients per month to 80 clients per month. So 80 multiplied by 100 equals $8,000 a month. You've just added an extra $2,000 a month and an extra $24,000 per year in turnover. Do you see the power of average client spend? Now, increasing the average client spend, how can we do that? So it can be as simple as incorporating retail into every appointment. Strategize every appointment, looking for opportunities. Offer upgrades, for example, a half leg wax to a full leg wax, an eyebrow wax to a wax and tint. Offer add-ons. For a facial, add on an LED. For a pedicure, add on paraffin. Would you like fries with that? How often do we hear that at McDonald's? Did you know that that little saying generates an extra 30% of revenue for McDonald's? And nobody gets offended when we're asked, so you shouldn't feel awkward when you're asking your clients. Tell your clients about your current special or campaign that you're running. If they're booking in for a facial, did you know at the moment that we're actually running a special on our Dermapen needling? And let the client know. You shouldn't assume that clients are all over your social media and they've read all your newsletters and they know that that's what you're offering at the moment. Increasing your revenue, you need to track and measure everything. So track and measure the rebooking percentages, the retailing percentages, your productivity, your client retention, and the average client spend. When you track and measure these numbers, you start to get excited as a business owner to be able to see these numbers increasing. And instead of being afraid of these numbers, you actually embrace them and you start to work with them. So let's look at an overview of the 6 keys. Now it's a case of, okay, but how can I do this tracking quickly and easily? Well, I've come to the rescue. I have a tracking and measuring chart. I've made this exercise so simple and easy for you. These charts will track the key elements weekly and monthly. This gives you the way to quickly and easily have these numbers front of mind and also provides you with an excellent tool for discussion at your staff meetings. So this is what the weekly tracking and measuring chart looks like. Down the far left-hand side, we have the personal goal or KPI. And we have the dollar signs and increments along there. You would fill that in according to your business. I haven't got time here to go into personal KPIs. You could even change out the personal KPI for the business KPI. You can track how many clients have been coming through, the average client spend, the number of retail products sold, the retail percentage and the rebooking percentage. And what you will see on the retailing percentage column, we have the percentages on the right hand side, and on the left hand side we've got A, B, C, D, F. So if your particular team member might be colouring this into, say, 10% is their personal retailing percentage, that's pretty much sitting at a D. So you want to encourage them, give them more training and get them up to at least a C and hopefully move them up to a B. We cannot expect team members to go from an F to a B. That's not going to happen. But with training and encouragement, you can slowly creep up and improve your overall revenue. Rebooking percentage is the same. That is graded from A+ to F. And then down the bottom, we're looking at the number of new clients that have come through and tracking the rebooking percentage of those new clients, because these are red flags. If somebody has 6 new clients that they've seen that week, and the rebooking of those new clients, they might have rebooked 1 or 2, that's a red flag. You want to look more closely into why. Were they all visitors to the area? What was the story? And then, of course, the individual therapist can keep track of their best ever numbers, the numbers they had the week prior, and fill in this week's numbers. And then they'll end up with something that will look like this. So Sally had a personal KPI goal of 9,120. Now, this is based on a very high-end skin clinic. This particular therapist is assumed to be doing 38 hours on $40 per hour. So she's receiving 1,520 per week. She's working 6 days. She's receiving 1,520 per week. Now we are going to multiply that 6 times. And you might all be going, whoa, what about just 3 times or 4? This is a high-end skin clinic I'm talking about. So we are going to multiply that 6 times, which gives us her KPI of 9,120. And you can actually see in this example, she smashed it. The 11,055 in green is what was actually achieved. Now, as the therapist goes along during the week, they're colouring in. I've just got red zigzags here to resemble the colouring in. And what this does is you have this on a clipboard, and it gives the individual team member something to relate to. It gives them that knowledge of how well they're tracking for that week. If it's come to Tuesday and they haven't sold any retail, they know that they're falling behind the 8 ball. They may not meet their KPI goal, which means they may not get their bonus for that week. They also they cannot calculate their retailing percentage or rebooking percentage until the end of that week. Also with the rebooking for new clients, those are calculations that are filled in at the end of the week. But as they're going along, they can be colouring in what the income is that they have generated for the business personally as the week goes along. As you'll see in the chart down the bottom, Sally has filled in her best ever was seeing 60 clients in a week. The week before that, she saw 55, and this week she has seen 58. Her average client spend, her best ever was 210. The week before was 180, and for this week it's 165. The number of retail products that she sold, that's all listed there. Her retailing percentage, which is high. Her rebooking percentage, that's high. The number of new clients that she saw and how many of those new clients rebooked. So for this week, she saw 9 new clients and rebooked 8. That tells you that you've got an amazing team member. So doing this gives them the hand-eye coordination to realize that these numbers are important and that focus is placed on these. And also, it's just at a glance, bang, you can ask to see your therapist's tracking sheet, and you can encourage them if they're doing such a brilliant job like this particular therapist, or you can give them some strategies to improve. So then we come to the monthly tracking and measuring chart. So at the end of every week, you're filling in your break-even KPI, which is the one that we worked out at the very start of the presentation, which is your break-even with that 20% buffer on the top of that as well. So then at the end of the month, you're able to colour in all of these calculations, and this gives you something to be able to refer to in your team meetings. Now, if you've been in business for more than 12 months, you can actually set a different business KPI for each and every month in your business. If Christmas is busier, then you might set a higher KPI. If April is quieter, you might set a lower KPI. It then becomes a moving target. So, increasing your revenue. Implement any of these keys and you'll see an increase in your revenue. If you need support or help in interpreting your numbers, contact me and let's chat. If you would prefer to learn at your own pace, my online program Solutions Membership for $97 a month gives you immediate access to loads of topical modules, and they're all available at my website. Now, if you would like a copy of my tracking sheets, just pop a comment below this video and I'll message you with a copy of these charts. If you'd like to work with me, I offer one-on-one coaching with salon owners, or my online solutions membership is great value for only 97 Australian dollars per month, gives you immediate access to everything in the solutions membership, everything in the vault, the whole Staffing 101 comprehensive guide, my Facebook's Ads Manager step-by-step guide, the Facebook Live tutorial, my ebook The Salon Whisperer, and also a private Facebook group where you have access to me. There's over 50 modules on various topics that will support you in taking your business to the next level. From marketing to mindset, everything is covered and new modules are being added all the time. So if you have any questions, pop them in the comments below and I shall answer those in due course. I would love to thank you so much for your time and giving me the opportunity to present to you. Thank you so much.